can or can we not use. And, you know, it wasn't some big leap of faith really to say, well, we probably can't use wood. It's just probably not going to be acceptable to very many people out in the boating industry. So we went ahead and did some research and came up with a polymer material that we chose to use, and it was something that was going to be cost effective and something that we could work with and was going to fit the application well. So from there, we having made all those decisions, we're ready to sit down at the computer and just figure it out. So we looked in the boat there and we drew up basically the floor of the boat, took a few measurements, and said, okay, here's what space we have to work with, and how are we going to fit something in there that's going to be the alignment that we want and perform the way that we want. So we just sort of went to town drawing, and well, at some point, you know, this is what we came to. The bracing that's in there, you know, it doesn't really add a lot of cost to it, and it does add a lot of performance. You know, we use a big CNC machine to cut that material. Looks like this. And since we've got a machine like this at our fingertips, this is what allows us to be able to produce it and have it not cost too much, you know, an unacceptable amount. So from there, you know, we drew it up in SolidWorks, see that everything fits, and then import all the files into another program that allows us basically to program the CNC machine and make it cut the parts out for us, make it do the work. So I don't have any video, but I can say that that machine runs at 1,200 inches a minute, and yeah, who knows what that is, but take my word for it, it's fast. And that as well allows us to keep the cost down. That material is a type of material that can be cut fast and to a high degree of accuracy, and that as well, you know, allows it to maintain the performance that it does.
Strength-wise, is it pretty strong?
Yeah, it's well, you know, there are some polymers out there that are virtually indestructible, bulletproof. Those are cool. They're really expensive.
Yeah.
So that material is not that. It's not bulletproof, but it's, yeah, it's quite a bit stronger than many other materials. They'll crack and then they'll break. You know, that material won't exhibit those undesirable characteristics. And well, it's many materials out there aren't gluable. Some that aren't gluable are weldable, but welded joints are not real desirable in that application. And so we had to determine a material that was going to be gluable and you know, won't fail at the glue joint. That material, you can glue it, and then if you try to break the glue joint apart, the material fails before the glue joint does. So that's basically what you're looking for, is a glue joint that's stronger than the material. And that's the gist of it, without getting into too much technical specification. This program here, it produces a code file, just a bunch of numbers basically, that is the language that the machine reads. And the machine reads those numbers and, well, hopefully does what you tell it to do. and it does it pretty accurately. You can go ahead and run a simulation on here and basically watch the machine run and see that it's going to do what you've programmed it to do before you go out and cut up your expensive material into something that isn't what you want.
But is it all hand assembled boxes?
Yeah, from there, after the parts get all machined, then it's hand assembled, yeah. And the,
So this is gonna be something that you guys produce hand assemble. It's not gonna be like a formed or a blown mold type box that they do, or?
that's correct,
Okay.
yeah. Obviously, those are options. There's lots of companies out there that are building
Yeah.
sub boxes using those type of technologies, but they're expensive, the technology in general, to get started.
Yeah.
And so the problem with that is, you know, the cost oftentimes gets passed on to the user,
customer,
you
yeah.
know. And so in this situation, when you can cut it out of a sheet material and hand assemble it, it's kind of like, you know, being able to design stuff fast and efficiently, turn on a dime, you know. And that's not, you know, the only shape that we need to come up with to fit the entire market as a whole, you know. There's going to be lots more shapes to go after this.
But you're looking at a unique product right there. Right now,
definitely.
there is zero
Nothing.
option
Yeah.
to put in your boat if you own
Make
an
it
LSV,
yourself.
right?
Make it yourself.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, here's kind of bottom lining it, right? There's two boats. I mean, you can see I don't got tons and tons of space, right? Terry's boat. What year is your boat, Terry?
It's a 03.
So 03. He's got an LSV, and Mike is another local guy. He's got an 08. And I went, we start with Moomba. They're here right now. Start. Let's do it. They're ready to go. Now, if you're a guy like Terry who, hey, I want to put some sub in my boat, it's a slam dunk. There's just no other question. That's what's going to go in my boat. So we will roll it out. And you know, you guys are all local to us too. I mean, the reason why we videotape this is that there's guys all over the country. I told you about how I showed that animation. Guys all over the country that are, wham, I got one of those boats, right? So there is no boxes being addressed in the marketplace like this. There's a lot of talk about MDF, and I think you brought it up coming here. Like, you saw the model and went, man, you putting that in the boat, right? You know, we should have faked everybody out and just left that there and hit everything else. But what we're trying to do, I'll stress it not nearly enough. We're trying to do the right thing, which is let's get something that's not MDF, that won't blow apart, that doesn't cost a fortune, right? There's always the custom option to go to the retailer and say, I want to do the stuff that nobody can afford and it better perform like it, and I want it lit, and I want to see it, and I want to do, you know, there's a custom market, and there always will be a custom market. This is more a do-it-yourself market that's built for
But
your
that
boat.
works into his market too, though, because there's a lot of guys that come to him that don't want to spend
Yeah,
the big
yes,
dollars.
yes, it does. But from a retail, like if you want to look at the business aspect, there's no reason why Jason can't buy these boxes if he doesn't
Right.
want to mess with it,
Exactly.
right? And from a customer point of view, he may have customers that might not want to spend $1,000 on a custom.
Yeah, this is the newest one. The actual one that you guys saw online is this one, which is a thin box that we actually make. That one we're going to see if it's going to break. Because then it'll stick out.